We are coming up on a year of being ordered to quarantine in our houses to reduce and contain the spread of the virus. Around this time a year ago, I thought it would only last a few weeks and our everyday life would return to normal shortly thereafter. However, I extremely underestimated the situation. The impact of this pandemic will be researched and speculated for years to come, with various shortages, delays, and working environments changing to abide by strict regulations. Most people were able to adjust to this new way of living in just a couple of weeks. In the realm of entertainment, such as movies, video games, and anime, we saw some delays, different distribution methods, and many ways to interact with fans that wasn't face-to-face. However, there is one thing that was cancelled as soon as it started due to the pandemic, along with some other underlying issues. Today, I want to examine the fate of the voice acting anime multimedia project that the producers cancelled a month after launch, BATON RELAY. You want to know how BATON RELAY died? COVID-19 happened. The end. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, you'll need a bit of context, so we'll start with its developmental history. BATON RELAY aimed to be a large project with multiple connections. Tadashi Muta would begin his plans for it in 2018. Initially, Muta was vice president of the mobile game developer Liber Entertainment, who are best known for Idol March and A3, where the latter is a male actor racing game. Strangely, he did the weird move of stepping down from the company in the summer of that year, but cited it as suddenly becoming free. While there aren't any specifics, the fact that the company said he stepped down while he says he became free suggests something happened in the company causing him to leave. Regardless, he went on to start i-tron, where he began working on an idea about raising actors in a mobile game targeted towards males. It seems to be the opposite of A3, a game he worked on targeted towards females. He would hire Takashi Yamanaka to act as producer and scout for possible collaborations with his history of working on mobile games. One person Yamanaka would choose is the world God only knows Tamiki Wakaki, who would create character designs and artwork for the series due to his strong attention to detail for each character that makes them stand out. Then, the story would be written by Shimesaba, who created the series I Shaved My Beard and Then I Brought Home a High School Girl. Yamanaka chose him specifically because of his love for the series and how Shimesaba can craft a story with multiple characters together. Labeled as co-creators, they would bring Muta's idea to fruition. Next, they needed support from other companies to back the project, and they would pitch it to a few. Eventually, a production committee formed between 4 companies in total. Content company i-tron served as an intermediary between the project, where they cite themselves as connecting the internet to the real world. They would develop the game and manage in-person events for fans to meet the voice actresses. Additionally, PokeLava would aid development of the mobile game with a successful track record with Sino Alice and Simple Gear XD. In order to meet the needs of old and new voice actors, they would gather a pool from Sony Music artists with a few notable names from a certain franchise and several rookies. Although it is a voice acting franchise, many of them would need to sing, so they contracted Sakura Music to produce songs. Notably, this company creates anime songs, and Muta was worried about collaborating with them due to the fact of BATON RELAY starting as a game. Even Sakura was worried about partnering with a company created only a year ago at this time, but were eased into it by Sony, who owned a label. From late 2018 to early 2019, production began on the project until they revealed a teaser site and trailer on May 10th, to coincide with the Sakura Music Festival happening on May 18th. Eventually, the project would be officially unveiled on August 1st by outlining the plans for the project. The social media game would be the focus of the project, but would branch out to music, live events, and animation as well. In fact, Biburi Animation Studio would be contracted to do all animation for the project. While they did it on the mobile game, it is suggested they would continue with the anime adaptation if it got one, according to the website. During this press conference, they would reveal the cast of the 16 girls and release a demo of the theme song. They announced in-person events called workshops that would occur every few weeks until the release of the game for the actors to perform and give info. 4 workshops would occur before announcing a new online stream format called Lesson Notes to preview the game and allow fans unable to attend events to meet the characters. To coincide with this, people can now pre-register for the game, with the release date being sometime in the spring. Additionally, they announced at the end of their last workshop that the first live will occur on March 8, 2020. It appears all things would be going smoothly. Leading up to the live, the official YouTube channel would post previews of the lessons for the first live. Fans can now witness the sweat and tears the girls put into their performance with these behind-the-scenes look. The actresses were enthusiastic about the live and meeting fans a mere month away. Sadly, things would not go according to plan. On February 28, 2020, Sony Music Artists announced that the live will be cancelled due to COVID-19 regulations from Japan's Infection Control Center on February 27, which restricted children from attending school and advising a stay-at-home order. The committee and cast were looking forward to the events, but needed to take precautions for everyone involved. On a similar note, Sakura Music announced that the CDs would be delayed due to these same restrictions by 2 months. However, that wouldn't stop them, as the game's official release was revealed to be a month later on March 22nd, 2020, and that they have 370,000 pre-registered players. Let's talk about that. Baton Relay was a voice actor training and simulation series, where you are the director tasked to guide aspiring seiyuu, or voice actors, to achieve their dream of stardom. The basic gist of the franchise would be to have popular voice actors serve as mentors for newbies in the industry, both in universe and in the real world. The story is at an office where future voice actors is started by the popular in-universe voice actor Akari Cohen. She would hire you as the director to build the portfolio of 16 young girls and train them. Alongside her is Neiko Ikari, Akari's previous manager that now manages the girls under her agency for a relay project. Finally, the story would focus on the drama of the girls, where they would be both friends and rivals to one another. Some would compete for the lead role, while the others had their own history with each other, more specifically the older women. Muta and Yamanaka described the story as being realistic, by using their own history of working with voice actors, where they are bright-eyed youngsters wanting to get famous quickly, contrasted by young adults struggling to land roles while working part-time jobs. To add further tension, a rival character for the agency was created with Tsutsumi Yakumo, a rising star backed by scholarships from her performances at the Arts and Star Agency, where Akari previously worked. Characters such as these would be the ones to drive the new voice actors, which is where the name Baton Relay comes from. Veteran voice actors will share their skills and knowledge with beginners to pass the baton to the next generation. Sounds like a touching and sentimental project. Wouldn't you agree? Now, as the director, you need to help the girls land roles in different anime. In order to do that, you need to create a team matching the different attributes for the anime. Then, the characters go to audition in a timing minigame. You need to land the circle as close as you can in the darkened central area, gaining bonus points if you do so. If the casting director finds you suitable, you can go on to the next part, which is watching the girls voice the anime. Well, it is more than just that, because each girl has an ability that can activate it during their performance. The voice changes with each girl instead of following a specific character for that role. For instance, canonically it is Misato Sakura voicing Hanako in At Magia, but changing it to a different character allows you to see their own interpretation. Then, for each combination you experience through different playthroughs unlocks special features, such as the script, director notes, character sheets, keyframes, and more story. In order to access these extras, you may need to train the idols to gather resources and experience to raise their stats. You will need to adjust accordingly because there is a stamina gauge based on the stats of the characters. Directors can adjust it by switching between double, fight, and talk. Double overloads the character, but doubles the drops. Fight gives you stamina for it is encouragement, and talk has you to talk with another character to get a random drop or boost. However, if you overwork yourself, you lose half of your rewards. Then we go to the home page and, this looks familiar. Anyway, you can read the stories of the characters to learn more about them or progress through the main story. Directors can conduct meetings with the girls to deepen their bond for further unlockables. Then, what's this button? Oh boy, scouting for the girls. I wonder who will get... Oh, okay. Let's try again. Oh yeah, the limited edition birthday yearly total card. She'll carry me through everything now. And that is the gist of the game. As you can see, it is a basic simulator and card collection game. So if you want to be a filthy heathen who thinks collecting JPEGs for a living is a good thing, then well, this is a game for you. Don't worry my babies, Mommy was just joking and didn't mean it. You're safe here. The game did promise future updates with new cards, new stories, new features, and even events to be held in Huh? They halted everything indefinitely due to COVID-19? Yes. A few days after the game's launch, the producer posted on the website that planned features will be postponed for now. They had recorded several new stories that they planned to release a month later to conclude the main story's first arc, but they could not proceed with recording new stuff until restrictions from COVID were lifted. Until then, they released a new story as promised with new animation and announced a digital release of the CDs ahead of the physical release. The songs would rank 6 on iTunes' daily Anisong chart and not appear again after that. The next day, they halted updates for the game until further notice. With no end in sight for the lockdown measures, they had to make the difficult decision to cancel the project altogether. On June 30th, 2020, they officially announced the closure of the mobile app for July 30th, with no more information provided. Some of the pre-announced in-person events, such as the autograph sessions, were changed to online ones. And that's the history of Baton Relay. So how exactly did it fail due to COVID-19? I was hinting at something specific, and that was in-person events. As i-tron says on their website, their goal is to bring reality and the internet together. The internet portion appeared to only be the game, while the real portions were lives, meet and greets, and the like. Leading up to the release of the game, they had several real-life events planned for events with Anime Japan, Comiket, and pop-up centers, but all were cancelled due to COVID-19. By being unable to attend in-person events, they cannot sell themselves to potential fans and businesses who could support them. This would be a massive hit to the franchise, with cancellations happening sometimes a week in advance. Now in these situations, you can quite easily migrate to online interactions. Sometimes they did stream to preview the game. However, I think they may have realized it wasn't helping because most of the comments referred to the veteran voice actors and wondering where they were. Those being Anju Inami, Tomori Kusunoki, and Mizuna Shirakawa. You might recognize these names because the former two are most notable for the Love Live franchise, and the latter is a member of the online singing show Maru Zenin, which did collaborate with Baton Relay. It doesn't help when a small part of the cast overshadows beginners and their fans take up most of the comments. As for the game, I don't know what they're doing exactly. During this time, many developers switched to working at home at different companies. For i-tron and Pokélabo, it is unknown what they did with Baton Relay. We do know Pokélabo continued to work on its other games, but it appears Baton Relay was sidelined. It seems everything just stopped due to COVID-19. All events, all production, all development, just gone. It really does appear COVID-19 killed Baton Relay. So, is it just bad timing? Well, there's more to it than that. After all of this stuff on Baton Relay started occurring, some fans noticed striking similarities to another voice acting simulator, Q. It would be a multimedia project where 16 girls are trained to be voice actors to achieve their dreams, where you assume the role of manager. You will work under the famous voice actor Masako Yotori, who retired to start her own agency with other employees. Together, you'll guide up-and-coming voice actors in the world of anime, where they need to train, audition, and act to build their portfolio. There will even be unique inverse anime where each voice acting anime character can drop their own interpretation. Does this sound familiar? Yeah, it's almost as if they copied Baton Relay. You're probably thinking, oh, it's just a coincidence. What if I told you that the game was developed by Libra Entertainment? You know, the one that had Tadashi Muta as vice president, who oversaw development on all of their games, including A3, Idol March, and Q. Well, wouldn't it be a funny coinkydink if Q had partnered with Sony music artists to host a competition that Muta sponsored with their own award? Man, I sure hope that didn't happen. Oh, and get this, what if it was found out that, I don't know, Muta sold off all of his shares of Libra Entertainment's parent company area before his mysterious leave of absence? Then he announced the beginning of his own company with assistance from Sony music artists that had mysteriously dropped out of Libra Entertainment's project? Oh boy, that would be outright hilarious if it actually didn't happen. Yeah, so it appears Muta took the idea of the game they were developing to be his own. However, intellectual property laws in Japan only apply to general employees and not high-ranking officials. So think of it like Katzenberg when he left Disney to start DreamWorks, which released Ants around the same time as Pixar's A Bug's Life. Just a funny coincidence. With two simulation games competing with one another, it could suggest one lives and one dies. Spoiler alert, Q outranked Baton Relay on the mobile app market and got its own anime, so maybe it got a premature death. Breaking news! While finishing my edits on this video, Q announced it is shutting down, at least temporarily. What impeccable timing. Who knows what will happen with the anime adaptation at this point. But rip. Back to the video. But why talk about a dead game? While you can learn a lesson or two from these unfortunate events, it seems pointless when I didn't mention any positives at all. Well, that's because it appears to be a basic simulation game focused on collecting anime waifus. Also, it doesn't help when the waifus are carbon copies of each other from a game that the producer stole from their prior workplace. One who loves gunpla and wants to voice a heroine in a giant robot anime, a chunibyo that is overtly serious, a shy girl good with technology, a librarian, an ex-child actor, and etc. It does seem Muta stole someone's IP for himself, and that can cause issues for many people. Heck, while researching this, I found that people who paid money for the game had it marked as a payment to Tadashi Muta. That doesn't seem helpful at all. I just feel bad for all the people who worked on it. The creators, the staff, the cast, everyone was wanting to work on this project, but a sleazy manager and COVID-19 crushed those dreams. Some still had hope for the franchise, such as Tamiki Wakaki, who posted on his blog about his regrets for the series with some aspirations. It sucks because I think the series had promise. In Baton Relay, each character had a reason for being there and served a role besides just being a voice actor at the agency. Maybe having a prolific author such as Shimesaba would have worked wonders to develop the story further from their own experience. Such a shame it had to go out like this. Still, it doesn't mean it will disappear. Even though things may appear dead, it doesn't mean that they are.
私はひなは
During the turn of the new year, the Baton Relay Twitter account announced an archive project for the series. Developers had finished new stories, artwork, music, and animation that remained unreleased and didn't want to waste them. The Twitter post announced a 440-page scenario book with character info, artwork, and stories written for the game that would only be shipped to those that crowdsourced it. Although the numbers aren't known, they did announce a delay of the shipment due to unprecedented demand for the book. I did consider purchasing this for myself, and it was between this or the new Love Live unit Liela's first single. I chose the latter. Back on topic, it is unknown if the project will restart or not. The fact it is an archive with permission from the creators suggests sharing stuff with fans that they had planned. A poll is up asking fans what they would like to see released, with some notable options being more music, more animation, or making an offline game. So it may be dead, but not forgotten. Still, what this shows is that even during times of gloom and doom, things can rebound. For instance, the aforementioned Liela features Naomi Payton, who voiced one of my favorite Baton Relay seiyuu, Kyoko Takahashi. The other is Senri Kantaki as a quick side note. Plus, Hinata seiyuu Hinaki Yano voiced Yu Takasaki in the Nijigasaki anime. Even though the cast may have had a hard time dealing with the situation, it doesn't mean it is the end. There's still a future waiting to be written. Hello everyone who has made it this far into the video. Thank you very much for watching it to the end. I hope you enjoyed it, and I greatly appreciate your support. This video was created in response to my The World God Only Knows retrospective I released a couple months ago. Initially, that video had about 400 to 500 views and 20 or so likes when it was released. Since then, in the past month, I'm guessing YouTube's algorithm has been working in overdrive because the views have hextupled. I've gained about 4 times as more subscribers, and the likes have gone up 10 times where they were before. So thank you very much for your support. Many of you have left positive comments and feedback for me, talking about the series or how I can improve, so I greatly appreciate reading them. Thank you once again. As you can tell, Baton Relay had Tamiki Wakaki as the artist, so I wanted to at least connect in that way and give back to the people who have supported me. Now I want to address something regarding the Tadashi Muta section. Put up a banner saying most of the information is factual, but it is based in suspicion. So him leaving Libra Entertainment, him selling his stock, him starting a company shortly thereafter with support from Sony music artists, and then having this rich idea that also correlated with another idea from Libra Entertainment where he was working on at the time during that production for that specific game. All that is true, but we don't know if he actually stole the idea, and even then, technically, legally, he is still allowed to do that because of his position. So all this stuff would be alleged based on suspicion. I'm covering my tracks just in case, but it does seem like there's something fishy going on. With that out of the way, I do have a couple more videos I want to get done. If you have any suggestions for me in the future on how I can improve, or any video ideas you would like to see, please leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you once again for watching. I hope you all have a magnificent day, and I will see you in the next one. Poof, poof.